Hello, here we're going to solve x plus 1 to the second power minus 5 times x plus 2 is equal to 3x plus 7. So we need to simplify before we even begin solving. Let's begin by simplifying x plus 1 to the second power. If you remember the formula, you should use it right now, but if you don't, you can rewrite x plus 1 to the second power as x plus 1 times x plus 1 and multiply through, so we get x times x plus 1 times x plus 1 times x and plus 1 times 1. This will give us x to the second plus 1x plus another x. We have 2x plus 1 times 1 is 1. This is a perfect square formula. So x plus 1 to the second power simplifies into x to the second plus 2x plus 1. Let's distribute negative 5 into the second parenthesis, and we will have negative 5 times x, which is negative 5x. Negative times positive gives us negative. 5 times 2 is 10, is equal to 3x plus 7. Let's combine like terms on the left. We have x squared plus we have two terms that contain x. We have 2x minus 5x plus we have two constants which are 1 and minus 10, and this whole thing is equal to 3x plus 7. So we get x to the second. 2 minus 5 is equal to negative 3x. 1 minus 10 gives us negative 9 is equal to 3x plus 7. Now we can bring everything to the left. Let's subtract 3x from both sides and minus 7 on both sides. This will give us x to the second. We have negative 3x minus 3 more, same sign sum, so sum between negative 3 and negative 3 is negative 6x. We have negative 9 minus 7, same sign sum, and sum of 9 and 7 is 16, so minus 16, and it's equal to, this adds up to 0, this adds up to 0, so our quadratic is equal to 0. We need to factor this quadratic. If you know the shortcut, you can go for it, but I'm going to use factoring by grouping, which always works. You begin by multiplying leading coefficient and the constant, so we have 1 times negative 16 and we get a product of negative 16. You list all of the factors of this product, so we have 1 times 16, 2 times 8, 4 times 4. Since the product is negative, we are looking for a difference, and the difference has to be equal to negative 6. Difference between 1 and 16 is 17, so the first factor pair is not going to work. Difference between 2 and 8 is 6, so the second factor pair works. You don't even need to go down the list, but if you want to, 4 minus 4 is equal to 0, so the third factor pair wouldn't work. We need difference to be negative 6, so we need more negatives. If we have negative 8 times positive 2, we get product of negative 16. Negative 8 plus 2 gives us a sum of negative 6. Let's rewrite negative 6 as positive 2x minus 8x, and we keep everything else as is, so x squared minus 16, and it's equal to 0. Now we can factor by grouping, so let's put parentheses around first two terms. We can divide both of them by x. Whatever goes into denominator goes on the outside. Let's factor the second pair of terms. We can divide both of them by 8. Whatever goes into denominator goes on the outside. Since first parenthesis has everything positive, we want to take out the negative from the second parenthesis. So let's divide everything by negative 8. And we get x times x, and the second power will cancel. So we have x plus 2x divided by x's will cancel, so we have x plus 2 minus 8 times negative 8x divided by negative 8 gives us positive x. Negative 16 divided by negative 8 gives us positive 2. So x plus 2, and it's equal to 0. We can factor out x plus 2 from here by dividing each term by x plus 2. Whatever goes into denominators goes on the outside. And we get x plus 2 and x plus 2 will cancel in the first fraction. X plus 2 and x plus 2 cancels in the second fraction. And we are left with x minus 8 times x plus 2 is equal to 0. So now that this is factored, we can go back to solving. In order to solve this, let's set each factor equal to 0. So x minus 8 is equal to 0. And x plus 2 is equal to 0. Let's solve first equation by adding 8 to both sides. And we get x. Negative 8 plus 8, this adds up to 0, is equal to 0 plus 8 is 8. So first solution is equal to 8. Let's solve second solution of x plus 2 equals to 0 by minusing 2 on both sides. And we get x. 2 minus 2 adds up to 0. So x is equal to 0 minus 2, negative 2. Our second solution is equal to negative 2. Let's check our solutions by plugging them into the original equation of x plus 1 to the second minus 5 times x plus 2 equals to 3 times x plus 7. Let's check x1, which is equal to 8 first, by plugging in 8 instead of x. And we get 8 plus 1 to the second minus 5 times 8 plus 2 is equal to 3 times 8 is 24 plus 7. So we get 8 plus 1 is 9 to the second minus 5 times 8 plus 2 is 10 is equal to 24 plus 7 is 31. 9 to the second is 81 minus 5 times 10 is 50 is equal to 31. 81 minus 50 is 31 and it's equal to 31. This is a true statement, so x equals to 8 is a correct solution. Let's check second solution, which was equal to negative 2, by plugging in negative 2 instead of x. And we have negative 2 plus 1 to the second minus 5 times negative 2 plus 2 is equal to negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6. Plus 7. This will give us negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1 to the second minus 5 times negative 2 plus 2 is 0 is equal to negative 6 plus 7. The difference is positive 1. This will give us negative 1 to the second power is positive 1 minus 5 times 0 is 0. And that has to be equal to 0. 1 minus 0 is 1 and it's equal to 1. This is a true statement. So x equals to negative 2 is a solution. That's all.